Mr. Firth, there's a few things I want to remind you about before I ask you some questions.
Yes.
With respect to parliamentary privilege, which every member enjoys in this committee, it's a contempt of Parliament, sir, to mislead this committee by giving a false statement or false evidence, to refuse, unless related to cabinet confidence, to answer any questions, or to fail to produce documents that this committee might require someone to produce. So although you are not sworn on a holy book, this parliamentary privilege binds your conscience and binds your responses to always provide us with the truth. Do you understand that, sir? Mr. Firth, do you understand that?
Yes, I did.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, but Mr. Firth just turned into a 12-year-old boy in front of Mr. Brock. He transformed into a 12-year-old boy with that response.
Brock has that effect on people, especially guilty people.
That was such a meek response. Oh my goodness. Larry Brock, man. Larry Brock. If I go to war, I want him beside me.
And Mr. Firth, in light of all of the criminal allegations that have been levied against you and Dalian and Coridex over the last several weeks, specifically the following offenses have been in the spotlight: the offense of theft over $5,000, forgery, fraud over $5,000, impersonation, all of which, if prosecuted by indictment by a prosecutor in this country, could result upon conviction of someone serving a sentence greater than 2 years. You aware of that, sir?
Yes, I am.
And under this cloud of serious and significant criminal suspicion, have you retained legal counsel?
Yes, I have.
Good idea.
And has legal counsel, without me asking what legal counsel has informed you, has legal counsel impressed upon you the importance of telling the truth?
Yes, they have.
Has legal counsel instructed you not to answer certain questions?
No, they have not.
Thank you.
Bad legal counsel.
One area that you have been presented with, sir, that gives me great discomfort as a parliamentarian is the issue regarding resumes. And quite frankly, sir, whether you call it a mistake, whether you call it a lack of intent, whether you refer to it as an embellishment, in my respectful submission, sir, that is a lie. And no one believes you. No one believes you in this room. We have national reporters in this room, and I doubt very much that they believe you, because your story is so fantastic. It's simply worthy of unbelief.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's not really even asked him a proper question yet. This is the lead up.
No, it's just chiding him. It's amazing.
This is the get ready, buddy, because I haven't asked you a question. And the hammer's coming. You know, I bet he got his legal advice this way. He probably contracted a company to get him some legal advice, and they said, sure, we'll get you some legal advice. And then they subcontracted that out to another company called GC Strategies, and they said, oh, we can probably get you some legal advice. And then they subcontracted it out. Yeah, and then they subcontracted it down, and they ended up with some, failed out law student that is actually the nephew or brother or some sort of relation of Justin Trudeau and the Trudeau Foundation. That's probably what happened in the lawyer he got, this quote-unquote legal advice. And this no one believes you thing reminds me of when he went after Morris Rosenberg. And we did a short on that because Rosenberg was telling him something and he interrupted and said,
no one believes you. Canadians don't believe you, sir. You, sir, at all material times only received one version of the CV from both Ritika Dutt and Mr. Amir Moravej. One CV, one resume. that was not ambiguous, that was not confusing, and you took it upon yourself to manipulate both of those resumes to ensure that Bottler qualified for government funding. You did that without the express permission or consent of both Bottler's executives, and in so doing, sir, you have committed a serious criminal offense.
Now, here's the problem for Mr. Filth. So, Mr. Filth, in order to defend that, okay, he would have to say, yes, I had consent to do that. And I have proof of that. I have that in an email that can be audited. That is the only defense that this gentleman would actually have. The problem is we're assuming that the whistleblowers from Bottler are telling the truth, and we have no reason to believe that they're not. There was no such email, and there was no such consent. So this is a huge problem for Mr. Filth. And I don't know how he's going to try. Well, he's going to try to defend this badly. But there's no rational way he can defend this. He's going to say, well, you know, it was verbal. Prove it. Prove it.
Do you have anything to say about that, or are you going to continue on this line that I made a mistake?
Yeah. I'm going to tell the truth, and it was a genuine mistake because there are multiple versions of the resume. They may have given me one, but as a recruiter, you make different versions of resumes, and the wrong one was sent through.
Sir, who made multiple versions? You or somebody else?
I did. I started my career as a recruiter, so I'm
On
it's
earth,
just a way of,
sir, why on earth would compel you to modify one version of the resume received by both individuals? Why did you have to modify it and create different versions without their consent or permission? Why?
Because accompanying every resume going to the federal government is a matrix, an evaluation matrix. That is a score that you get to be compliant, to be a certain category.
There you go.
On the contract.
This is the justification, everybody.
He said the quiet part out loud.
This is what we said. Okay? This is what we said. So there is a scoring system that the government uses in order to evaluate talent doing work for them. And it scores you extra points, which bumps up the compensation and the value of the contract. Okay? This is what he's talking about. I just didn't think he would actually say it out loud. Clearly, the lawyer should have instructed him not to answer certain questions.
Lied to ensure that they qualified. You embellished.
I'm afraid
you
that
manipulated the facts.
I'm afraid that is our time. You can continue on the next round. Miss Fatwin, please, for 5 minutes.
Oh, he's lucky, saved by the bell.